Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video is been a story time that I've been wanting to say for quite a while, and I'm just going to come out and say it. So because it's a very interesting story time, and it's kind of basically what I've been going through the past few months. It's been really wild, and I thought, because the thing is, now I'm a YouTuber, like when like these kind of things, I know like a wild situation happened in my life, or I don't know, just something that will stress me out, I know that I can use that for a story time. Basically, I'm not going to mess around, I'm just going to jump straight into it. So I moved into this awful flat in September last year, and basically it's just been a headache since day one. I should have known from the start that I should have gone on my gut feeling, never gone for the property in the first place. Because the landlord, who I saw one of her houses which had black mold in the room and stuff, and I said to her, well, you need to sort that out before I move in. She's like, I will. But she probably definitely didn't. And then she came back to me with this other property that she hadn't advertised yet, which is a ground floor flat, and I was like, okay, that sounds perfect for me, because I basically the year before I was living in that house, which actually got on with the housemates except for one really weird girl, which I did make a video on, so I'll put a link up here. But I basically kind of came to the conclusion that I don't really want to be living with loads of people, because it's just like, I can't be bothered with the drama, because you're guaranteed to live with at least one complete weirdo. Yeah, I've got a life to get on with, I really can't bother with it. So anyway, I thought, oh, okay, so ground floor flat, cool, I've sharing with one person, should be okay, right? And I had moved back to my home where I'm filming now, and so I didn't really have the time. Well, to be fair, I did have the time and I did have the money, but I didn't want to waste it on travelling for like 8 hours in the day just to see a flat for 5 minutes. So I kind of got my friends to go and view the flat for me, which was probably the biggest mistake I made. But more of the story is, you go and see any property that you want to go and live in, because you need to go there yourself, because you know, I'm the best judge of what I want, do you know what I mean? I can't put that into anyone else's hands, and I've really realised that from this experience. So anyway, so where shall I start? Let's start with the housemate. So first of all, it kind of came across quite chilled. I thought, oh, she'll be quite easygoing, hopefully she'll be quite chilled to live with. And then gradually she literally just started becoming weirder and weirder. So like when I first met her, we kind of had a conversation, I kind of tell she wasn't really that bothered about talking, so I was like, okay, fine. You know, I would prefer to live with someone who kind of just got on with it and wasn't bringing back friends all the time and having, you know, parties and stuff, and because that'd just be more noise. So I was like, you know, I'd tolerate it. It's not a big deal to me. Like if you're not that bothered to talk to me, and you know, you can't really, because you know, I'd say about 2 months, I was just being civil with her every time. So I was like, oh, you're right, how are you, kind of thing. And then it kind of got to the point where if I wasn't the one to say hi or how are you, then she wouldn't say anything really. So I was like, you know what, I ain't gonna bother with you then. Like, I don't really want to talk to him, just being civil. If it's not reciprocated, like, I'm not bothered, it's fine. Crack on with your weird little life, it's fine by me. I think one of our first conversations was literally me being like, oh, so did you know, we're talking about uni, how are you finding it? Do you go out much and stuff? Do you go to clubs? She's like, no, I don't go out. I was like, do you ever go to clubs or like pubs to meet your friends and stuff? She's like, no, I don't do that. So straight away I thought, you're a complete weirdo, you have no friends and you just stay inside all the time. So that was already a red flag to me, as like, this person, you know, there's a reason why people don't have friends, like, just being honest. Yeah, so gradually as it went on, I think the first thing she did that annoyed me was she put the washing machine on at like midnight, and it was on like a 2.5 hour wash. So I just got up and turned it off. And then what she did, like, and then I said to her the next day when I saw her, I said to her, by the way, I turned the washing machine off last night because I was trying to sleep. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And then like the following week, she got back from, I think because she'd done like a night shift like once a week now and then, if that, you know, because I mean, this girl's just lazy anyway, so I'm surprised she even done a job that she actually had to go out the house and earn some money. And yeah, so like a week she came back from work, and then she turned the washing machine on, like, I don't know, it must have been about 7:30, like 8 in the morning. People who know me, I'm not a morning person. Like, I got up and just turned it off again. Very inconsiderate. You don't turn the washing machine on really early in the morning, and you don't turn the washing machine on at like midnight, you know what I mean? It's just common sense. And then she sneaked out of her room, and turned it back on. Didn't knock on my door to be like, oh, by the way, is there a reason why you turned it off or whatever. She just turned it back on. So I got back out, because I thought to myself, if she comes out and turns the washing machine on, I'm kicking off. So I went flying out of my room and I was just like, look, why are you turning it on for? I'm trying to sleep still. She's like, oh, well, I need my clothes to for tonight, so I need to wash them now, kind of thing. I was just like, you know, whatever. And I walked into my room and shut the door. But she did know after that, she'd never done it again, because she could tell I was really pissed off. I think it's the first time she saw me kind of get quite fucked off with her. And I will be swearing throughout this video. I don't care. Like, my channel's not monetized anyway, and it's not made for kids, so who cares, right? So yeah, and then and basically I realised that she has to have all the windows open all the time. Honestly, they're just saying she's just weirdo. And because who has the windows open all the time? Like, if I'm not in the house and she's gone out for uni or she's doing night shift, she's got the windows open. Like, do you want to get robbed? So anyway, so I mentioned to her, I was like, but is there a reason why you have the windows open all the time? Because she started being kind of, in my opinion, a bit disrespectful. Where I would shut the windows because it's cold. Like, we're talking about middle of November, December. She's got the windows open all day, 24/7. Like, I understand if it's in the bathroom because I've just had a shower, but after 2 hours you can shut the window. It's not a big deal. So in the evenings, can we have them all shut please? Because she has a lock on her door. I didn't have a lock on my door. So basically if somebody did break in, I'll be the first one getting, like, you know, done basically. And she's like, okay, I understand that, that's fine, yeah. I was like, okay, good. And then yeah, anyway, basically, so throughout the day, if I shut the window when I went to the kitchen, 5 minutes later she'll come out and open it again. And then I'll just go out and shut again because I'm not being funny. Like, if I want the window shut, I can have it shut. If the window's open all the time, you're gonna have to listen to me for a change, aren't you? You know, 2 people live in this flat. It's not just you. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it's winding me up thinking about it. Just carrying on doing weird stuff like the heating. She kept turning the heating off when she wanted it off, even though I put it on because I was drying my clothes. And then she'd come out and turn it off, and then we ended up having Dan talking to her basically because she came back once and I had the heating on. And she's like, can we turn the heating off please? And she's like, oh, because my room's smaller than yours, oh, it's so hot, I can't focus. You know, bearing in mind she came out with a full jumper on and a full-on outfit, like, do you know what I mean? Like, just chill out in your pyjamas, open your window and shut up. I'm not going to have the heating on all day, which I've told her about 3 times. So anyway, and I just said to her, well look, this is, because basically the radiator's in our flat, because I haven't even got to the state of the flat yet. The flat was a complete state when I moved in, but I'm going to get to that after the housemate situation. The radiators wouldn't turn on and off, because what did you call it, like a fuse thingy? I can't remember what you call it now, but basically on the edge of a radiator, there should be like a knob that you can like turn the radiator on and off if you want to. Well, basically both of them, in her room and in my room, they were stuck and they wouldn't turn on and off. So if someone put the heating on, our rooms would have to have, you know, be heated. And if we turn the heating off, both our rooms would have to have the heating off. So anyway, I just said to her, well, look, you need to get onto the landlord and basically say to her, you need to get because basically I don't mess about. If I want something done, I'll do it. So I wanted my radiator to be turned on and off. So I messaged the landlord. I got her to come around with a guy and sort it out, and it was done. What did she do? Because she's lazy, cow, and she don't do anything. She was just like, yeah, it is really annoying, isn't it? I was like, yeah, you need to make sure you email the landlord and get her to fix your radiator, hun. Otherwise, this is going to keep happening, isn't it? She's like, yeah, you're right. So anyway, eventually, after me kind of just nagging her, she ended up calling, getting the landlord to get the, I don't know, like handyman, I guess, to come round and do her radiator so that she could turn her radiator off. So therefore, it eliminated her being a bitch and turning the heating off. That's the heating. And basically, just like, you know, silly things. Basically, she wouldn't listen. She's a selfish cow. She's got no friends. Now, you know, I can see why. He wants part of that, right? And that's it. So she doesn't say anything, and she's just like weird, passive-aggressive little shit. Like, she won't listen to you. She'll just do her own thing. Like when I first moved in, I put my conditioner and soap out in the bath, like most people do. And she moved it onto the window ledge, so I moved it back onto the bath. And she moved it onto the window ledge, I moved it back onto the bath, and she left it. I was like, well done, you're getting the message now. So yeah, so basically she was just weirdo. And then what happened, we kind of came to a confrontation like a month ago, if that. Like, it must have been early March or something, before the whole virus situation. And basically, she was cooking something in the oven, and this is what it's all about. You guys are probably gonna laugh about this, because I did. And she was cooking some meat shit. And I put some potatoes in, because it's dinner time, I was hungry. I used the oven. 2 people can use an oven and cook some stuff at the same time. People cook meat and potatoes all the time together. But you know, because she's a bit thick in the head, she doesn't understand that, so that's fine. So I went in, put my potatoes in the oven, went into my room, I waited for them to be cooked, went back out, and there's this little stroppy note on the oven, because she doesn't have the balls to come to my face and say it, so she has to write a little note out. Oh. And it was basically her just being like, you could have waited for my stuff to be done, and don't knock on my door, I'm in there to talk. And I was like, first of all, I laughed, because that, like, even my 5-year-old cousin wouldn't do that, do you know what I mean? So I was gonna say something to her that night, but I thought, you know what, Nathan, because if you say something now, it's gonna go down, so just whatever. So I screwed up the note and threw it in the kitchen, so I thought she can pick it up. And yeah, and I carried on picking my stuff. So what I did the next day, because I was still thinking about it, because there's a rule with me that if I'm still thinking about something a day later, then it's worth speaking about. So yeah, I call her when she came back. I was making lunch, I think, and I just said to her, so by the way, why did you leave me an embarrassing note for on the side? Why didn't you just knock on my room and say it to my face? She was like, oh, I thought you were busy. Bearing in mind, she's knocked on my door before about blue tack, she knocked on my door before about all this other dumb, really irrelevant stuff. So she clearly just couldn't be bothered to talk to me, because she's, you know, fair enough, she's probably intimidated by me. I can be quite an intense, intimidating person. So I was like, you know, but I'd rather her just say that instead of being a little lying bitch, because that's kind of what I'm getting the vibe of her. Basically, she's just a weirdo. And yeah, and I was just like, well, I'd rather you just knock on my door and tell me to my face, to be honest. And then she ended up trying to patronise me and being like, oh, well, do you not know how to cook then? And I was like, are you for real? Two people can use an oven quite fine, sweetie. But the thing is, I really wasn't really bothered about the conversation. I was just saying to her, like, don't leave me a note like that, because it's just embarrassing, like, for you. And, I ended up being like, look, whatever, but I don't need the attitude, do you know what I mean? Because in the note, it was just like, full on like, don't knock on my door, like some 5-year-old little bitch. I just said to her, I don't need that attitude, right? You knock on my door, say it to my face. If you've got an attitude, don't say it at all. And then she wouldn't let me finish. She walked off into her room like running rides because she thinks she's amazing, a little diva. And I was just like, yeah, crack on, hun. And I was pissed off because I didn't really kind of get to say everything I wanted to say. You know, when I was talking about in the past, I've said to her about the windows, you know, shut them at night and stuff. Oh, what does she do? She sneaks out of her room sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning, opens all the windows, because she thinks you know, by the time I wake up, it's going to be morning, so I'm going to allow it. And you know, she thinks I'm dumb, but I can fucking hear her. I'm sneaking about. I come back from nights out sometimes at like 5 in the morning. I know if someone's been sneaking around the flat. So do you see what I mean? It's all petty stuff I really don't need to be dealing with. So anyway, that's the housemate. Charming lady, loved, you know, amazing to live with, such a mature person. So moving on to the landlord, because we've got 3 issues with this house. Housemate's a weirdo, but she's easy to deal with, she ain't a big problem. The landlord, not really bothered about, easy to deal with. I just put her in her place if she tries to get all stuck up with me. But it's the neighbour who's a huge issue. But we're going to get onto the landlord, you know, best till last. So we're getting to the landlord. So I should never have gone on the property in the first place, because since day one, she took about 3 months to actually give me the contract for the property. Who takes 3 months to draft out a contract? Like, I'm telling you, I want to move into the property. Like, most landlords have it written up, sent to you in a day, in 2 days, because they want your money. Straight away, I should have been like, right, I'm just gonna, because the thing is, I left it last minute. It's like August, and my uni starts at the end of September, so I really needed a property. But I should have just bitten the bullet. I should have just gone around Winchester. I should have just wasted the money and gone. But you know, like one of my friends' case says, like, hindsight's a beautiful thing, right? So we'll just go with that. It's what it is. It's done now. But I was desperate at the time, and I really wanted somewhere to live. So I was like, I just went for it, which is really stupid, and that's the reason why I really hate living there, I think. So yeah, anyway, the landlord took ages to do with that. She had the cheek to say to when my friends viewed the house for me in like July, bearing in mind I got the contract come through in like late August, so what, a month and a half then, not 2 months, whatever. She said to them, because there was wallpaper hanging off the ceilings in the bathroom, and there was carpet in the bathroom, and there was damp in the bathroom, and my room had black mould all over it. Which she had hidden behind drawers, and you know, she had strategically placed furniture around the room so that it hided the black mould. I don't get how these people get away with it, to be honest, but it is what it is. And yeah, so and she said to my friends, because the garden was a mess, really overgrown and everything, because I had a little garden, like if it wasn't for all this stress, I would have enjoyed living there, because the room was okay, I had a little garden, it was great for me. So anyway, moving on. So yeah, she promised my friends that everything would be sorted over the summer. So the bathroom would get redone, the grass would get cut. I was saying else, but I can't remember. Anyway, so, and what happened when I moved in? The bathroom's still a state. Grass is still overgrown. So and I was going to kick off, but I thought, you know what, Nathan? You moved in now, it's your last year of uni, you've got a few months to go. And that's the thing, but my last year of university shouldn't have been that. It shouldn't have been just trying to power through to get to the end of it. It shouldn't have been like that, but that's what it was. Which is the whole reason, which is the silver lining of this entire virus thing, is that it's actually kind of been a bit of a blessing for me, because I hate living there so much. That it got me out of living there. I'm now home and feeling a lot more happy and a lot more relaxed. I don't have to deal with all that stress of that place. So anyway, back to the landlord. So basically the landlord would just do petty stuff. Like I asked her about the bathroom, and then the Hoover broke, because the Hoover was blocked up and couldn't suck up anything up. And I just kind of sent her a bit of a stroppy email because I was getting a bit fed up with all the shit in the flat. So when are you going to get the bathroom sorted? When is the Hoover going to be done? You keep promising all this stuff and you're not doing it. Well, she ends up getting stroppy back. She's saying, I'm not going to do stuff because you tell me to. And you're not going to stamp your foot and I'm going to do it. I would show you the emails, but I'm using my phone to film. So and I was just like, is this woman actually for real? Like, is she actually a landlord? Or how is she even able to do anything professional when she's treating her clients like this? Like, it's actually embarrassing. So I went to Citizen Advice, which I don't know if my American viewers are watching, and it might be different for you guys, but in the UK we have Citizen Advice that I can go to and talk to you about landlord issues and like housing situations, tenant advice. And Citizen Advice, I showed them the emails. They did think what she was doing was out of order, had the tone of her emails. But basically, bottom line, landlords can get away with doing whatever they want because they have the authority and their government allows them to get away with treating their tenants like shit, which I think is completely out of order and completely needs to change and is actually a complete piss take. Because we're giving them our money, which is our maintenance loan. My maintenance loan is going towards their rent, and they're able to just take the money off us and not maintain the property, not maintain the house, and basically just do nothing. Even though in the contract it says the landlord's job is to maintain the property, but when they don't abide by the contract, they get away with it. But as soon as the tenant does something that doesn't abide by the contract, they get told off and they can get thrown out and evicted. But anyway, I got to the point that I was like, evict me. I don't care if you evicted me, to be fair. Like, it'd probably do me a favour. So anyway, that's the landlord. I don't want to talk about her anymore. She's like irrelevant as well. So the main big issue of this entire flat was this stupid bitch who lived above me. Because basically I was on the ground floor and a stranger lived on the top floor with 2 dogs. It's definitely more than 1 dog. So the main stress of the entire property, because I can deal with the city housemate, I can deal with the city landlord, but if you're going to disrupt my sleep, like pretty much every other day, and disrupt my studying, I'm going to be very stressed out that I can't really cope with not sleeping properly. That's just a thing with me. Like, you're going to really make me go nuts if I can't sleep properly. She had these dogs and she wouldn't tell them to be quiet. They would bark for hours, and I'm not kidding you, literally for hours. And the first issue was that she would have the TV on throughout the entire night. So I got into the council, and once again, I don't know how it works in America, but in the UK, the council is supposed to deal with like noise complaints and all that kind of stuff in your allocated area that you're living. So I got into the council and I said to them, look, like, she has the TV on all night, I can't sleep, tell her to shut up. Everything's a long process. I had to get a time log sheet, log it for a month, so I had a month of not sleeping properly, just so I can give them a shitty little log sheet. Went into the council place, gave them the log sheet. They got back to me, and basically because she'd like turned the TV down a little bit and it was a bit better, they let her get on a bit because it's all fine now. And then what happened? Her dogs started playing up even worse than normal, and it literally got to the point the dogs would just basically bark all the time. I'd say about January, February is when I just starting to lose my stuff because the council weren't really doing anything. I did ring the police, but obviously, bearing in mind, guys, like, I haven't had to deal with any of this stuff before. I now have learned the police don't really do anything. And when it comes to noise complaints, I was like, well, what are you going to do then? If I lose my shit and I throw a brick through a fucking window, then I'll get in trouble with the police then, wouldn't I? It's just, there's so many parts of the law that's just absolute bullshit. So so basically that went on, and I went to the council again. They wanted to put a noise equipment in my room, but apparently another neighbour had complained about the noise coming from her upstairs, so they already had noise equipment monitoring her flat. So, but it got to the point where her dogs were barking at like 2 o'clock in the morning until like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'd kick off and bang on the door, yell at her to shut up, bang on the ceiling. It got to the point the day that I left, she woke me up about 8 o'clock in the morning. I banged on the ceiling, she ignored me. I banged on the door, she ignored me. So I ended up throwing stones at her window. She still ignored me. I was like, right, I'm done now. This virus is happening. I don't need to be here anymore because fucking hell, if I got locked down in that flat while this is all going on, I would have probably burnt down the flat. I would have smashed all the fucking windows, and because all my friends were like, oh Nathan, you got to enjoy it, like it's the last year of uni. I was like, I can't, I'm not sleeping properly, I'm not happy here, I've got to go, sorry guys, like, Because some of my friends, they've stayed living in their uni properties throughout the whole lockdown situation. I was like, no. Like, yeah, I like you guys and I want to see you guys, but what's the point when I can't sleep anywhere and I don't want to be dealing with that shit? I'm not staying there, sorry. It is what it is. You just got to deal with that seeing me, and you know, it's a shit situation, and we'll see each other when the lockdown's over. It's not a big deal, right? So yeah, anyway guys, so that's the nightmare flat that I've been living in. I've finally moved out because of the virus, so that's the silver lining of this whole virus situation in my, you know, personal life. Obviously it's an awful situation to happen. I'd rather be there seeing my friends and stuff and getting on a uni and everything else, but I hate living there, and I really hate living there, so I'm so happy that I'm out now. So yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd show you guys this story time, because I know, you know, there's been so many like awful like story times of like student accommodation. Basically, I've got to the point now where after this lockdown's over and I have to go and get a job or an internship or a graduate scheme, whatever, I'm looking for studio flats. I'm not living in shared accommodation anymore. It gets rid of the factor of living with a weirdo. You know, I'm bored of living with housemates who are just fucking freaks. I'm so bored of it. So I'm 23 now. You know, I want to get on with my life, and I don't want to be dealing with other people's shit. So. Oh yeah, I want to live by myself and I want to have my own place. I don't want some little bitch running around, turning the heating on and off, opening all the windows all the time, being a little, you know, immature twat. Like, I just can't bother with it. So that's good, because that eliminates the housemate factor, and I can deal with a shit little landlord. And the only issue with living in a studio flat is dealing with like neighbours and stuff. But I'm going to make sure I visit every single property I'm interested in. I don't care if I have to travel the fucking world. I'm going to go there and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to ask about the neighbours. Yeah. That's the plan, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I kind of just like wanted to say this story time, most likely just to vent it, and I'm never going to speak about this again. I'm going to go and as soon as the lockdown's eased off, I'm going to go and get the rest of my stuff from the flat, and then never see it again. I'm done. Yeah, that's it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I do have like a few other story times I want to get out to you guys. I did film one already, but I've lost the footage, so yay. So, but yeah, I'll probably be filming that one again. Yeah, so I hope you guys are all doing well, all staying safe. And yeah, and hopefully, you know, this situation will be gone soon. Hopefully they make a vaccine soon and it's all kind of just sorted. So yeah, anyway guys, like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the mess. I'm sure that you guys can probably relate to some parts of the story, dealing with idiot housemates, landlords, and stupid neighbours. Yes, like I said, like, subscribe for more, hit the bell notification to be notified when I put this new video, oh yes, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye guys. Mwah.